Look around you. The smartphone in your hand, the laptop on your desk, even the electric car you drive. We take these marvels for granted, but they all depend on something you can't buy at a grocery store. Critical minerals. These are the building blocks of our digital age and green energy future. Without them, our world would grind to a halt. Names like lithium, cobalt, and rare earth elements may sound unfamiliar, but they're essential. Fighter jets, wind turbines, electric vehicles, and even medical imaging machines all rely on these minerals. Their unique properties, magnetism, conductivity, durability, make them irreplaceable in high-tech applications. Lithium powers batteries, cobalt makes them last. Rare earths create powerful magnets for motors and defense systems. Gallium and germanium are vital for semiconductors, the brains of our electronics. As the world shifts to cleaner energy and advanced tech, demand for these minerals is exploding. For decades, we assumed these materials would always be available, but that's no longer the case. The journey from mine to finished product is now a source of global tension. Who controls these resources will shape the balance of power in the 21st century. This is a story of strategy, competition, and a high-stakes race for control, and it's unfolding right now. Where do most critical minerals come from? The answer is clear: China. While others looked away, China built a near monopoly over these resources through a deliberate decades-long strategy. China mines about 60% of the world's rare earth elements, but it's the processing where its dominance is overwhelming. Nearly 90% of rare earths, 65% of cobalt, and over half of lithium are refined in China. Even if Australia mines lithium, it's often shipped to China for processing. China's massive investment, lower costs, and looser regulations have made it nearly impossible for others to compete. This control gives Beijing enormous leverage, economic and political. In 2010, China cut off rare earth exports to Japan during a dispute, showing how quickly supply chains can be weaponized. The world realized, relying on a single supplier is a dangerous vulnerability. China's strategy was simple: undercut competitors, drive them out, and dominate the market. Now, as demand for electric vehicles and renewables soars, this dependency is a critical risk. The Green Revolution could be built on a foundation controlled by one nation. That's a risk the world is no longer willing to accept. The race to diversify has begun. Relying on one country for essential resources is risky. The US, India, Japan, and Australia all face this challenge with critical minerals. A single political decision, disaster, or economic issue in China could disrupt global supply overnight. For the US, this is a national security issue. Rare earths are vital for advanced military hardware. Japan's manufacturing and auto industries remember the 2010 supply cutoff and have worked to diversify ever since. India's ambitions for electric mobility and self-reliance hinge on breaking this dependency. Australia, though rich in resources, often exports raw materials for processing elsewhere, usually China, missing out on higher value opportunities. For all four, China's control means it can dictate prices, availability, and use minerals as a political tool. This threatens economic stability and sovereignty. The world's most advanced economies are now exposed to a single point of failure. The need for a new approach is urgent. That's where the Quad comes in. The US, India, Japan, and Australia, known as the Quad, are joining forces to break China's monopoly. The Quad Critical Minerals Initiative aims to build a secure, resilient supply chain among trusted partners. Australia supplies the raw materials, lithium, rare earths, and more, mined under transparent democratic standards. The US brings financial power, technology, and a huge market, investing in new processing facilities and innovation. Japan contributes world-class manufacturing and advanced recycling, reducing reliance on new mining. India offers a fast-growing manufacturing sector and a skilled workforce, positioning itself as a future processing and production hub. Each country's strengths combine to create a new supply chain from mine to finished product. The goal: end dangerous dependencies and build a foundation for the industries of tomorrow. This is more than diplomacy. It's a blueprint for economic security. The Quad is moving from talk to action. Here's how. The Quad's plan is ambitious and practical. First, Increase and diversify production. Invest in new mines and processing plants both at home and in friendly nations. The aim, a network of suppliers so no single country can control the market. Streamline permits, uphold high environmental and labor standards, and identify promising mineral deposits. Second, share technology and co-invest in research. Develop cleaner, more efficient processing and recycling methods. Pooling knowledge and resources makes non-Chinese processing viable. Third, map and secure the entire supply chain. Track reserves, processing capacity, and manufacturing needs. Set common standards for transparency and ethical sourcing. Finally, partner with other resource-rich, like-minded countries, Canada, Vietnam, the Philippines, to build a broad, trusted network. The goal, a resilient, responsible, and competitive alternative to China's model. The Quad is laying the groundwork for a new era, and real projects are already taking shape. The Quad's vision is becoming reality. In Australia, new lithium refineries are being built, moving up the value chain and challenging China's dominance. India is developing its own reserves and securing overseas sources like lithium mines in Argentina, while positioning itself as a future processing hub. Japan is exploring deep-sea rare earth deposits and investing in recycling and joint ventures with Quad partners. The US is funding domestic battery supply chains, supporting companies like MP Materials to mine and process rare earths on American soil. These aren't just plans, they're construction projects, creating jobs and rebuilding critical industries. Each country is leveraging its strengths to secure its future. The Quad's approach is practical: invest, innovate, and collaborate. The result? A new supply chain, less vulnerable to disruption. The world is watching as these projects take shape. The stakes are high, but the momentum is real. The Quad is proving that action, not just words, can reshape the global landscape. But challenges remain. Building a new global supply chain is a massive undertaking. China's 30-year head start means it's efficient and hard to beat on price. Western projects face higher costs, stricter regulations, and slow permitting. China can undercut prices, making new ventures risky for investors. Without sustained government support, subsidies, tax breaks, purchase guarantees, many projects may struggle. Mining and processing can be environmentally challenging, adding cost and complexity. Developing cleaner technologies takes time and money. Public opposition to new mines can cause delays. Geopolitical friction is inevitable. China may retaliate with price cuts or export restrictions. Coordinating policy among four democracies isn't easy. The Quad must stay united and focused on the long-term goal. The path is tough, but the stakes couldn't be higher. The Quad's success will shape the future of electric vehicles and renewable energy. Electric cars need 6 times more minerals than gas cars: lithium, cobalt, nickel, and rare earths for batteries and motors. Without a secure supply, the EV revolution could stall. Automakers are investing billions, but supply chain disruptions could derail their plans. A stable, trusted supply chain gives companies confidence to invest and innovate. Wind turbines also rely on rare earth magnets. Demand is set to soar as countries build more wind farms. A secure supply ensures the green energy transition isn't held back by a single point of failure. This is about energy independence and technological leadership. By building their own supply chains, Quad nations control their destiny and lead the next wave of clean tech. Securing critical minerals is the foundation for a sustainable, prosperous, and secure future. The world's climate goals depend on it. The stakes are global. The Quad's push to break China's grip on critical minerals is reshaping the global economy. This isn't just defense, it's a proactive effort to build a more resilient, democratic network of producers and processors. Expect a wave of new investments, public funding, and international partnerships. Supply lines will be drawn not just by cost but by trust and security. This shift will create new jobs and opportunities, but may also mean higher costs for consumers, at least at first. For China, it's a challenge to its long-term strategy, and Beijing will adapt. The outcome of this competition is still unwritten, but the Quad's cooperation is a powerful statement. Democracies are willing to work together to secure their future. This is about more than minerals, it's about building the foundations of freedom, resilience, and shared prosperity. The technological and green revolutions of the 21st century depend on it. The world is watching.